Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Rokakudash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Yahawashi across the earth for doing his work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. Slakia. Let me clear my throat. So as you can see here, this is basically the pitching of what's gonna happen these last days, like the book of Isaiah said. Let me just read the scripture. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And this is talking about the men of the Lord. And it doesn't necessarily, and it says in that day, but it's not talking about this is going to be just one day. No, this is from the moment when the shit's going to hit the fan. Jacob's trouble's going to be there. World War III is going to be full effect. The whole shit. You already see, if you watch the news, you already see that the world is heading to these events. You see that the end is near. So on that day, the women shall realize that the men of the Lord are going to be able to guide them and protect them, to the spirit of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi. Like the scripture said in the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation, the fear of Yahawah is his treasure. Yeah, because to the spirit of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, we're going to be able, we're going to be we're going to know, the men of the Lord, and Yaharatazah, I'm part of that number, the men of the Lord going to know exactly what to do. The Most High is going to protect them, and they're going to see, the women, because that's also like the scripture said, woman is under a man, and if you are with a man, you're being protected by that man, and the men of the Lord going to be for protection. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and chapter 32 and verse 2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So, and that's talking about the men of the Lord. The men of the Lord is going to be a protection. They are going to be able to protect these women, and then they're going to realize, then they all going to be with you, Another thing, a woman is your possession. And I'm just going to read that also. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillow of rest. And if you look at the females nowadays, there are very few who actually are that, a pillow of rest, and who are accepting that you as a man standing above her. The majority of the females, they think that they are all power and this and that, because Esau, of course, is to the spirit of Yahawah, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, is part of the curses. But Esau set up the system that give these females that idea that they rule the world, I also had to think about that song of Beyonce, who rule the world? Girls, fucking bullshit. And I was thinking about scripture. Oh yeah, in the book of Jeremiah. What chapter was it again? Let me see. Because in the book of Jeremiah is written, a woman shall compass a man, but I don't really remember exactly where it was, but just looking if I can find it real quick, because it's part of the curses, the Most High. We didn't want to obey the law, statutes, and commandments, and so the Most High put these females over us, You see, bear with me for a moment, because I know. Look real quick. Let's see. I know it's in the book of Jeremiah. You know, sometimes you have scripture in your mind and you know it by heart, but you don't. Oh yeah, here it is. Call Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahawah had created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's the shit that we have to deal with nowadays. You know, woman being above a man. You know, and that's the system that Esau has set up, you know, to break down the household, because now everything is out of balance, you know. And then where everything is out of balance, you know, then yeah, it cannot stand, you know, because it's supposed to be like that. The man, you know, first you have Yahawah, then you have Yahawashi, then you got the man, then you got the woman, then you got the children, you know. That's how the Mosai set it up, you know. But Esau, being a devil as he is, you know, he wants to break everything, you know. And like I said, you know, like I just read in the book of Isaiah, the man of the Lord is going to be for protection, and these women going to realize, and then they want to cleave unto a man, you know. Where this is the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that had no wife will wander up and down mourning. So where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Yeah, because then they're going to realize that only the men of the Lord are going to be able to protect them, you know. And a lot of your females had a chance with the men of the Lord, but y'all turn out to be demons, and you got to realize on that day you're not going to be protected, you know. And you know, and I know that other brothers also have the same spirit like I have, but you know, right now I'm only speaking for myself. Already have claimed those that been on my path, and have been a demon, you know, on the day of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, Yahawashi, that I may execute vengeance upon them, you know. Yahawashi, may I live and may I endure and may I stay in the spirit of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi to do so, you know. And let me see, I was thinking about, oh yeah, let me jump to the book of First Corinthians. No, concerning the order, what I said. So this is the book of First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. Slakia. Verse 3. But I would have you known that the head of every man is Yahawashi, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahawashi is Yahawah. So there you have it concerning the order, you know. Another thing, you know, like the scriptures teach us that as a man, you know, it's a man is allowed to have multiple wives. You know, a woman's supposed to be with one man, you know, from the beginning until she die, and the man can have multiple wives. But there's also rules and regulations with that. You know, that also means that you're supposed to keep your wife is supposed to stay with you until she die. You know, actually you're supposed to have a wife as a virgin, but that is practically impossible nowadays. You know, since females also starting at the early age, they already been busy, and you know this whole society promotes basically females to jump on the cock carousel. You know, so that's also a thing that you got going on. Mothers teaching the child and children like play the field and this and that, you know. The daughters like play the field and this and that, you know. And also, you know, men are easy, you know, having those one night stands and stuff. And that's actually not a thing that you're supposed to do, you know, because the moment that you put your wiener into a female, she is your wife, you know. You're supposed to stay with her. And of course, if she a demon, then you can let her go, but you know, not over a single fight or a single disagreement, you know. You should supposed to be working at it on that relationship. Another thing is, if you as a man you got a wife and you're going to take another wife, you ain't supposed to neglect your first wife, you know. You still have to, you know, if you let's say for example you used to spend 2 times in a week, 2 days in a week with her. No, then you still have to do it, you know. Your marital duty, the you know, yeah, the pleasure between the sheets. If you have a new toy, you ain't supposed to spend less time with your current wife, you know. So yeah, there are rules and regulations concerning that, you know. So yeah, but in this society, you know, it's easy, you know, that you know you got a lot of men. They just, you know, also adultery. You know, you ain't supposed to deal with a woman if she already has a man. You know, ain't supposed to do that. You know. And like I said, you know, you ain't supposed to, this one night stand stuff, you ain't supposed to do that, you know. If you, it's better to keep her, and if she want to go, then she can go, and like I said, if she's a demon, then yeah, of course, then it's rightful to let her go. But as long as she tried to please you, you ain't supposed to put her away, but like I also said, the scripture also teaches us, and I have it right here, let me see. Mm, yeah, because yeah, let me just read it. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. So meaning, so because it is written in the law, it doesn't mean it's a good thing to do. Like I said, these females nowadays, they got a different mindset. I was watching this week. I was watching a movie on Netflix. I forgot the name of the new movie. It's a movie about a Nigerian man. He went to France. It's speaking in the French language also, and he went there with his wife. And they started a restaurant, and he got a child with her. And then at a certain point, he went back to Nigeria, and he comes back with another woman, because that's also, for our people it was normal to have multiple wives. And she said, she was mad, and she said, yeah, you cannot force this onto me, because we're not in we're in Europe now, and this and that, and that's also a thing. Brothers all mentioned that a lot. You see it happening. For example, females from Morocco, people, they come from Morocco, let's say the parents, or they grab, they come to Morocco, and the child, they got a daughter, and she grew up here, she is gonna do stuff, she gonna do stuff, because like in countries like Morocco, or for example like Africa, West Africa, there you have like a social control. People, they know each other from the village, this and that, they know exactly, what their daughter is doing, the school, everything, they can monitor the children. But here in the West, this control, they don't have that control. They go to school. I remember, like, like earlier, when I used to go to the camp by train, I saw Moroccan, so-called Moroccan women, yeah, young ladies, young women. I won't say ladies, just young females. Being dressed complete in a kneecap. Or you only see the eyes. You see her going to the toilet, coming out. Makeup on the face. A halter top. The belly out. All sexy, this and that. They so-called go to a girlfriend or a family member in another city, things like that. But back then, you used to have that social control. But concerning the scripture that I just read in the book of First Corinthians, yeah, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So meaning, because it's lawful to have multiple wives, doesn't mean it's gonna profit you. Because the scriptures also teach us that if you see a man, if a man lays with another man, and you put him to death, it's a rightful thing to do. If you put two sodomites to death, it's a rightful thing to do. That's what the Bible said. But is it expedience? No, because Esau made this law. Remember, we're in captivity, so the rules of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, they don't count here. But in the when Yahawashi is going to come back, and the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi is going to be established here on earth, then this rules going to apply. The whole world and the universe is going to live by the rules of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, by the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody need to keep them. And we, the children of Israel, gonna know them by heart. The Most High is gonna put the law, statutes, and commandments in our minds. So we won't be able to go off anymore. So, and like I said, it's not expedient. Because the women, they don't nowadays, they don't accept it. And even if I look at the generation of my mother, they knew it, but they were not happy with it. They were already like, yeah, they didn't like it. They wouldn't go against it, but they didn't like it. In that movie, you saw it perfectly. That woman she was bitter. And that's also a thing. A woman get bitter, and I saw it. Around me. That brothers, that had a wife, and so-called claiming that she accepting the fact that he's gonna have multiple wives, but at a certain point she will break, you know. At a certain point she cannot accept it, you know. A woman, you know, the scripture doesn't tell us for nothing that a woman is a weaker vessel. She drives by emotions, you know, and of course she's gonna be jealous, you know. You're gonna take another wife, maybe younger than her, maybe more fine looking than her, and of course, you know, if you got something new, you want to play with that more. You know, if you got a new toy, you want to play with your new toy more than the other toy. You know, look at your children. You know, when they get new toys, they be all over that toy. You know, I remember when my oldest son was a little bit younger, you know, when he used to get you know, like back in the days when I buy something for him, you know, sometimes I used to go with the children to the toy to the toy store, and I'll be like, okay, pick something that y'all like, you know, and then they pick something out. And you know what he used to do, you know, his mother used to send me pictures of him sleeping with that toy that I bought for him. He was so happy with it, so thrilled with it, that he took his toy and go to bed sleeping with that toy, you know, things like that. So that already shows you, you know. And like I said, not everything is expedient. Like I said with the sodomites, if you're going to put the sodomite to death, yeah, it's a lawful thing to do, like the scripture says. But they're going to throw you in prison, so it's not expedient, you know. And the same thing with having a multiple wives. You know, you got to divide your times. You know, especially if you are in the truth. You know, you need to make your videos. You're going to be on the highways and byways. You know, you have your studies going on. So how you have your job, you know, and if you have already have, let's say you have two wives, you need to spend times with them, you know. And it's gonna, of course, every you gotta seek your balance in that. But you know, like I said, you know, it's lawful, but yeah, in this time I wouldn't advise it. You know, let me just say it like that. I wouldn't advise it. And also another thing, you know, and another thing is, you know, you also got to keep in mind that your wife that you have right now, you know, when shit hits the fan, she might turn on you. You know, things like that might happen. That's also a thing that you need to. I said that you need to be aware of. You know, she might turn on you. She might Tina turn on you. Yeah, because you know shit's gonna happen. I remember one of the brothers having a dream. You know, first he saw himself walking with his wife, but then that woman changed into somebody else, and she didn't want to listen. You know, and he said like he saw a missile drop, and he told her like, okay, we gotta go this way, and she was like, no, I don't want to go this way, this and that. You know, because there's also a thing like I said, you know, in the days of in these days, you know, days of Jacob troubles, Jacob's trouble and all that, you know, the day of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, you know, when shit's gonna hit the fan, you know, then you're also gonna have, because like I said, you know, like I read in the book of Isaiah, you know, 7 women shall cleave unto one man, and this doesn't necessarily mean seven. Seven is just a number that stands for completion. So it could be all kinds of amount, you know. You're gonna have women at your desire and in that day, and you gotta keep in mind that your wife might turn on you in that moment. You know, for example, let's say, you know, the scripture also teaches us, you know, don't teach an evil lesson to her that lie it in their bosom. Let me grab that real quick. I know it's in the book of Sirach. I can find it easily. Let me see. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 25, if I'm correct. Let me see. It's 24. Let me see. Why no? Before thing goes up. Let me see. I thought it was 25. It also could be the book of Proverbs now that I think about it. But the scriptures teach us, don't teach an evil tale against thyself on her that lay it in thy bosom. Let me see. because a woman gets jealous if you teach her. Of course, if she asks for it, at a certain point, you can tell it her. But yeah, then she gonna look at you differently. But yeah, you also gotta keep in mind that she might get mad and be like, okay, then yeah, she not gonna accept it and just leave. And even like I said, on the day of when the shit is there, um man, I thought it was there, but I don't see it. Can't find it real quick. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, the scripture said, I cannot find it that quick. I thought it was in the book of Sirach, and I thought that I knew where it was, but that's not it. Uh, 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 but mm, but yeah, like I said, don't teach her an evil lesson against thyself. Don't teach her something against yourself, because that's it. It's not necessary. And if she don't accept it, yeah, if she is really, and let's say you got a wife, a wife also not necessarily needs to be in the truth, as long as she listens, that's already good, and that's already a blessing. If you got a wife that hearkens onto your words, that's already a blessing. No, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it's not that important. But yeah, like I said, yeah, like in the book of I believe in First Peter, it teaches us that you gotta go wise. You gotta be wise as a man concerning dealing with your wife. Of course, love her and treat her like your own body, because two shall become one flesh. So you're gonna take care of her, but you gotta keep in mind that the Most High have deprived her from wisdom. She doesn't know the things. She doesn't understand the things that you know. She doesn't gonna understand. Yeah, the book of First Peter talks about that. Uh, so let me just jump to the point. I believe it's the book of First Peter, chapter 3, and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So you got to realize she react by emotions, so of course she will go off. And like I said, a woman, she doesn't necessarily have to believe. And if she believes, she claims that she's in the truth, and all that. And yeah, she and then basically means that she want to learn the scriptures. Then of course you're gonna learn her everything. And then yeah, she might have to accept it. But a lot of times I've seen it a lot of times. Those women that claim to believe in Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, turn out to be the biggest demons. So this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 7, and verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother had a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him put not her away. So if she doesn't hinder you, she how you say that, she accept you being in the studies. She have no problem with you being on the highways and byways. She doesn't bother you when you want to study. She doesn't bother you when you're with the brothers. All that. Then why should you? There's no reason for you to put her away. It's the same. If I look at my own wife, she doesn't believe. But she respect what I do, and she listens. The moments when she need to listen. I'm not being a dictator, telling her to everything to what she need to do. I can give her some advice and stuff, but she knows her position. And that is also something that is very rare, because a lot of females, they play humble, but as soon as you start getting to get involved with them, then the demon comes out. I've been through that. And the problem was I had children with them, so yeah, you still had to deal. I still have to deal with them, to a certain level. But yeah, but it's beautiful if you see that it also can be different, And of course, like I said, you got to keep in mind that your woman might turn on you. I already see it because I know for a fact that the one that I got, she's not down with that multiple woman thing. She doesn't know it and she doesn't need to know it. But in the time of Jacob's trouble, the days of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, when everything's going to be horrible. Yeah, there's going to be a time when these women going to flock to the men of the Lord, and then it's going to be, yeah, accept it or die, basically that's it, but you also got to put your mind to it, don't put everything on the line for women. There are many men, like the scripture said, there are many, even kings, many. Look at, you got that movie, that story of Troy, you know. The city was, it's all started with a female. Just look at the prison cells, See how many women are in the prison of Slakia. See how many men are locked up because of women, for example. Yeah, so yeah, you got to keep it in mind, she might turn a 13 a turn on you, those are facts. Those are facts. Let me see, I had a couple of scriptures. Yeah, and the day of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi is going to be horrible, man. It's going to be horrible, that's a fact. And let me see, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And he is talking about the elect, And eventually all Israel going to be saved. Yeah, a lot of Israelites going to be nutsack Israelites are going to come back to the man of the Lord, and going to be ashamed for a long time, And some of us, some of the elect going to be beheaded for the name of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, you know and some of the men ain't gonna taste death, and there's also a thing that you can make clear to your wife, that she needs to understand that if you make it, then she also gonna make it. If you make it, your wife and children also can be safe, as long as they listen to you, if they hearken to you. I already told my wife, like, look, man, when shit's gonna hit the fan, and she's aware of it, but she's still a woman, so she doesn't really want to know it, but she knows that shit will eventually go on. So, even Stevie Wonder can see that this world cannot go on like this, that something is about to happen. Look, man, what they are doing concerning war, they are so busy, to getting all this munition, getting fighter jets and all that, all the countries are busy with that, uh, um, NATO, they had their biggest exercise, with the armies, 90,000 militaries, a lot of vehicles and all that, so they're busy with that, So yeah, they know that shit is about to hit the fan. And I told her, like, look, when I tell you to go left, don't question me. Just go to the left. When I tell you we have to go to the right, or if you have to run or whatever, just do it. If you don't listen, that's your death right there. And that's the mentality that you gotta have as a man, Don't put your chance of salvation on the line for a female, because you're gonna have everything that you have, man. If you complete this work, if you endure until the end, hey, the Most High, hey, Yahawashi is gonna bless you, man. You're gonna put the crown on your head. You're gonna be called great in the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. You're gonna desire everything that you want, man. The scripture said, "A small man shall be a nation." For you to become a nation means that you're gonna have a lot of wives. You're gonna have a lot of children. So yeah, man, you don't want to lose that all over for $1 that you didn't even had as a virgin. She already been dicked down, and then you ready to give up your salvation for that. You have men that done that are doing that, man. That's not worth it, man. That's not worthy. That's not worth it. Really not. Let me see. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse verse 21, because it's going to be horrible, man. And then you're going to realize that the men of the Lord are going to be the only one that's going to be able to give them a chance to survive it, because like during the C19, you saw everybody was panicking, but we, to the spirit of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, we were calm, we were chilling, we were still getting together, having our drinks on, listening to music. We didn't give a shit, because first and foremost, we don't give a shit about going to the club and all that shit. You won't find us there. We're not going to the club, and I'm not saying that it's forbidden, but if you go there, there are a lot of demons there, so you put yourself, kind of in a danger zone, so the advice is not to go, my personal advice, but yeah, we, the men of Great Millstone in Holland, we don't give a fuck about going to a club. Of course you can go to a bar and all that, but when they were closing all these things down, we didn't give a shit about, because we're living in this world, but we are not of this world. We don't give a fuck about shit of this world. As long we had our roof above our head and we are able to feed ourselves, and if we got families, to feed our families, we were basically like, yeah, fuck it. And we were still getting together. We went out teaching. After teachings, we had our drinks on, we had our gathers on, we were getting together. And if you had the curfew going on, so we were just going home and make sure that we were at home before the curfew, because they had the lockdown going on, and they're gonna do it again. And people were panicking. They didn't know what to do. They were running to the government. They were getting the devil juice. Now a lot of them are dying or diagnosed with cancer. So meanwhile, we were just chilling. The mother of my oldest, she came at my door. She was like, yeah, you were right. And now they see, because this is the time of prophecies, so now they see the prophecies coming in play. Because they've been talking, she was also talking a lot of shit. This shit is never going to happen, this and that. Then C19 pops up. She's like, yeah, this is exactly what you were talking about. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, what am I supposed to do? I said, yeah. I told her, that's also funny. I told her, like, yeah, when shit hits the fan, Lord willing, and then I named the name of my son, he's protected. But I didn't mention her name. I'm like, yeah, it's a you problem, Hey, and Yahawah design the day, I'm just going to be able, the Most High just going to make it able for me, So of course it's Lord willing, but like the scripture said, everything that we lose for Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, we're going to receive 100-fold. So, maybe I'm going to be able to grab my children, and if not, I'm gonna, in the kingdom's they're going to be added to me, in their right mind also. Scriptures are very clear about that. Let me how you say that? Let me just read that real quick, since I already mentioned it. It's the book of Matthew, chapter let me see, chapter 19 is it? Yeah. Let me see. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse 29. So this, if you read that the chapter 19, it speaks about the rich man, and he asked what he had to do in order for him to enter into the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Yahawashi told him, like, okay, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, honor your father and your mother, and this and that. And he said, yeah, I'm doing all this thing. Then Yahawashi told him, like, okay, sell everything that you got and follow me. And then the man, he walked away with his head down, because he had much possessions. So he couldn't do that, and the disciples were amazed, like, oh, who's gonna, this man, he's keeping all the law, statutes, and commandments, but, he cannot, how you say that, take distance from his possessions, so he's not able to enter into the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And the disciples were amazed, like, oh, they be like, they were like, oh, it's going to be impossible for men to enter into the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And Yahawashi told him, like, look, with men it is, but with the Father, nothing is impossible. And that's something that we got to keep in mind, especially when this shit's going to hit the fan, things going to be horrible. You got to keep in mind that with the Most High, nothing's going to be impossible. Just read the scriptures. See, the prophets that were before, that went before us, they went to horrible things. But the Most High got them through it. Don't forget that. You got to keep that in mind, man. And then this is let me see. And this is what Yahawashi said, because yeah, Peter said unto Yahawashi that they give up everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna read it. So um, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, so even this also talking about us, the spirit of the prophet shall go to prophet again, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, so when the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi is going to be established, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's the position for the apostles, right? And every man that had forsaken, so every man, this goes for everybody that loses stuff, while doing the works for Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, the Most High is going to add everything that you lost, like the scripture said, those that sow in tears, because that's what we're doing. We're going to all these sufferings, being the scum of society, everybody looking down upon you, your family, this and that, hey, those that sow in tears shall reap in joy, man. So the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. And every man that had forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So for losing your children or a wife that don't want to listen, that's nothing, man. You're gonna receive. Don't forget, in the kingdom of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, everybody's gonna be righteous. The children of Israel are gonna be 100%. So the wives that you're gonna have, they're gonna be 100%. The children that you're gonna have, they're gonna be 100%. No more sickness. All these things is gonna be done away with. And living forever in joy, that's a beautiful thing to look forward to, man. That's a very beautiful thing to look forward to. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, on such was not seen, on such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So the day when shit's gonna hit the fan, it's gonna be horrible on this planet. And these women gonna realize that only the men of the Lord is gonna be able to save them. And a lot of women gonna receive a kick to the face, especially being so proud nowadays, doing all this shit because he's to protect you. But when the shit's gonna fall down, you're gonna see men hey, there's gonna be great rapes going on. There's already shit going on. I saw clips, Yeah, this dude, Ross Camp, he likes to investigate. You got a lot of refugees, they're just grabbing females, They've been doing that. This is nothing in comparison about what is about to come, So yeah, man. So I'm gonna leave it like that, So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, Waharuka Kudash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all your Akim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth, and shalom to the few sincere sisters who do their best to please Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi. Shalom.